Reynor versus Lambo. Best of 2. Reynor, Lambo, the draw. You guys can vote. The student versus the master. Basilisk pays Roddy the big bucks. I think those might go to the players, but I'm very happy, obviously. I have said it many times. I'm incredibly happy with everything that Basilisk does for me. And I am very glad that they seem to be happy with me. I had a 1-year deal. That deal would kind of come to an end right about now, but we already had talks about it. And they said, we love you, we're happy with you, you can stay on longer. From our part, you can do 2 years, but if you say like, no, that's too long, just 1 year, that's fine too. I said, are you kidding me? If you're giving me the opportunity to be here for another 2 years, we'll make it 2 years. That was not a hard decision. That was a snap call from my side. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. 2 more years. And hopefully many more. Thank you to Maxwell for the 22 months. Good for you, Roddy. Yeah, I was very happy with it. It was honestly, personally, for me, that was very good. And now, obviously, I'm going to do my best to make sure that they stay happy with me and they stay happy with Starcraft, and we can do great things for Starcraft. That's what it's all about, right? Everyone wants to do well themselves, but once you're kind of in that position, then you want to do well for others. Here we go, second best of 2. It is Reynor, the Game S8 champion, the Home Story Cup back-to-back champ versus the man who helped him during that big victory of Game S8. And that is a Shopify Rebellion's Lambo. Hey, is that you, Thermal? Seems like there is a bit of a house party going on where the boys live. As a lot of you guys know, Reynor is roommates with Skillis, and apparently they invited Uthermal over. So Skillis and Uthermal chilling in the living room, watching the big man do his thing live. That's kind of cool. Hecate is going to be the opening battleground. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of Shopify, Rebellion's Lambo. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion, sponsored by Red Bull, and of course, Basilisk, Reynor. Huge pressure on Reynor now. I don't think so. There is a prediction, Maxwell. Unless you're asking for my specific prediction. I think Reynor is going to do it. But it is ZVZ. These two know each other incredibly well. They've been friends for a very long time. Inside of the game, outside of the game. They've gone on holidays together. Lambo has coached Reynor to his victory at IEM Katowice 2 years ago. And he was also his coach last summer for the Game S8 tournament that Reynor also won. Those are the only 2 times that Reynor officially hired Lambo as a coach. And with that, it means that he paid Lambo to do a lot of research and obviously go over a couple of things. Lambo spent his time then on trying to find as much information as possible on all the opponents. And it seems to be a magical duo because they are 2 for 2. Reynor won IEM with Lambo on his side, and Reynor wins Game S8 with Lambo on his side. I'm gonna have to give you guys a badge, Basilisk. Please post that link one more time. I will VIP Basilisk Research Group. Try again. It will work now. Need permission to share links. We've had naughty people spamming naughty links in the chat. Is this live? Yes, mate. Everything on this channel is always live. And if you're wondering, Roddy, but what about that previous best of 2? You said it was a replay. It was a replay, but it was still the first time ever those games were shown to public. So everything on this channel is always live. And if the games are not live, it is at least the very first time that the games are shown to the public. ZVZ can be a very tricky matchup. There are a lot of mind games. It's kind of similar to PvP in a way where obviously people keep on trying to cut corners. And because you keep on cutting corners, eventually go full circle, right? Where build A is good against B, B is good against C, C is good against D, D is good against E, and then the E build is actually very good against the A build again. And obviously Lambo will know that he is mechanically an underdog here. So he's going to try to win by using his big brain. Reynor sneaking 2 Zerglings into the main base. That's a big scout, guys. So you can see the extractors. You see one of them is being used. And more importantly, you see that very quick lair attack. Did Reynor immediately... Reynor had Zergling speed on the way. And he cancelled it, right? I got that correct? I was a bit distracted there by the chat because I had to... So whoever is in charge of the Basilisk research group, you guys tried to post a link. It didn't show up before because you didn't have the right permissions. You can post that link again because now the message didn't go through and I was distracted by it. But I believe that Reynor had a Zergling speed. On the way after his scout, he cancelled Zergling speed. He just wants to use all his gas into roaches, knowing that that is what Lambo is doing as well. That is obviously not Demo, it is Euthermal. Euthermal lives in the Netherlands as well. He is Dutch and he lives relatively close. And I believe Euthermal and Skillers are pretty good friends. So I guess Skillers invited Euthermal over for an afternoon of watching Reynor play live Starcraft. What is Basilisk actually researching? At the moment, +1 missile attacks. And a roach speed. So there's a chance we'll research many more things. Hopefully that won't be it, guys. Don't want to be stuck on +1 forever. Lambo stopped at 33 drones. This is a bit of a Lambo classic. He's rallying a lot of roaches to the other side of the map. I think Reynor has picked up on this like a little while ago, but it's still going to be hard. This is the build that Lambo used a long time ago. I believe at DreamHack Masters Valencia to get a quick one over Serral. Lambo is droning up behind this, so he's not necessarily committed forever. Reynor should be able to get on top of those roaches. Obviously, the roaches of Lambo are quick. The drones are evacuating all the way to the bottom right side. How many of these drones can Reynor save? Unfortunately, as a Zerg, you cannot use recall. Lambo floating a little much, though. I was actually honestly very worried that Reynor was going to straight up lose. I'm glad that that did not happen. I think it's kind of okay for Reynor, to be honest. Lambo is supply blocked and making 5 overlords at once. It's a bit odd to me because what Lambo was doing was obviously of a relatively low drone count. He made a lot of roaches, even spread some creep in the center of the map, but then he went back into droning. And yes, he found some damage, but with the build that he went for, he obviously dealt a lot of damage to his own economy. And I think Reynor is okay. And obviously we trust Reynor's ability to play some late game ZVZ, so the higher the supply goes, the more vision there is for both players. The less it is about a cheeky, crazy build, and the more it comes down to who's got better macro, who's got better micro and multitasking, and finds the right time to transition. I think the more likely it is that Reynor will come out victorious. Maybe Lambo went for that build indeed, hoping that Reynor would be mega greedy. And if Reynor didn't cancel, let's say, Zergling speed, right? So he spends that gas on Zergling speed. Has a couple links, they don't do anything. Tries to make up for it by making too many drones and going to Aspire. Then maybe Lambo's build would have just straight up killed Reynor. That did not happen. Reynor has been scouting, has been reacting. I think the game is looking pretty good for the Italian. Looks even. I think it looks slightly better for Reynor than it does for Lambo. Of course it will come down to the fights, but I'd say overall Reynor is a little bit ahead. Slightly quicker +2, has been mining a little bit more. He's obviously up in supply. Makes 7 more drones now, splitting up a couple units to go to the left side. Keep an eye on those. 3 roaches is the magical number of roaches you need to one-shot drones. I guess now that Reynor knows that the army of Lambo is on the right side of the map, he's going to send these 3 roaches in and he's going to one-shot a bunch of drones. This is not really the fight for Reynor, but hey, if he's just doing this to distract Lambo, keep an eye on the drones that could potentially go down, guys, because this is where Reynor normally shines. Reynor has a decent amount of ravages. I want to say started off with the superior concave. I think Lambo had a few more units here because Reynor was obviously splitting up units. Fight looking somewhat promising for Lambo, but with the immediate reinforcements, I want to believe that I think Reynor should be okay. But it is getting damn close. Lambo still has quite a few more units here than Reynor does, and now we are reaching the point where ravages go down, queens go down, and Reynor is forced to pull the drones. He ain't happy. He has killed 5 drones on the other side of the map, and that is not fantastic. Lambo obviously is fully sending it. If Reynor can just survive, obviously he's fine because he still has more workers. But can we survive? Has lost queens, has lost the ravages, and with just roaches left, I'm afraid that it is not good enough. Lambo struck when the iron was hot. He fully went for it, and I think that Reynor maybe kind of thought that it was going to be a more doable hold than what it turned out to be. So he bought a lot of time, or he waited a very long time until he started pulling drones. And in the end, it is a Lambo, guys, who is very, very decisive. Only 47 drones left for the German Zerg, but obviously that does not matter. Lambo gets a point on the board for the rebellion. The coach beats the student. Yeah. Well, we need Reynor to become the 50% man. Hope Reynor is okay. Doesn't look very happy. I guess no one is ever happy if you lose a mirror matchup. Is Lambo better than people give him credit for? I think I give a lot of love to Lambo all the time. So maybe some, but I don't think you can include me in that list. I feel like if anything, I get accused of overrating Lambo very often. Let's hope that he can be our 50% man, because we desperately need him to be. Equilibrium. Lambo's laughing. I think that's when Lambo heard what map Reynor wants. I think that's what it is, guys. Or maybe Reynor sent him a message. Reynor turning around right now, talking to the boys. I know, young Ulster. Like, obviously, we'll use terms as someone is playing good or playing well on almost any level that we play StarCraft 2. But it obviously always comes down to what kind of competition are we watching. Like yesterday night, I was casting a bit of community StarCraft. The Passioncraft Open number 16. You know, of course, if we want to be very critical, we can always say that every game is bad and everything was sloppy, but that's stupid. Because if players have maxed out at 5,000 MMR, you got to kind of cast it from that angle and knowing what is good for that level and what's not good for that level. When we watch these guys, that doesn't matter because we know that these are 2 of the best Zergs in the world. So then we can obviously be as critical as humanly possible. Because this is as competitive as StarCraft 2 gets. Equilibrium is going to be our second map. Lambo's still smiling. At least he's happy. I'm not happy with the fact that he took the 1-0 lead even though he's mein Bruder, but at least he's in good spirits. So. Top right side, guys, the Red Zerg, Basilisk Reynor. Top left side, the man who's representing the Shopify Rebellion, mein Bruder Julian. We are leaving Lambo. We just don't love his favorite football team. If they want me to do something, Helm, I will do it, yes. If they have questions, I will do it. I do not randomly contact them and be like, hey, Serral, I think you should be aware of this. Because then Serral might think, Roddy, you're a donkey, leave me alone. If I can do anything for the boys, I will do it. If they don't ask for it, obviously, I will respect their own time. It's Euthermo and Skillis. Skillis is the one who's living together with Reynor. And I guess they just invited Euthermo over to have some fun vibes on the Sunday afternoon. Mega base time. Lambo indeed takes the mega base as is natural. This has to be something that Reynor was thinking of when he picked this map. Equilibrium is a very unique map. Not just in the fact that it's big and has a lot of bases. And that there are a lot of different ways to attack your opponent. It's the first ever map with a rich Vespian geyser and a gold at the same base. We've never seen this in competitive StarCraft 2. Reynor should know though what he chose, right? Obviously it's loser pick format in WTL, so Reynor lost the first map And he can decide whatever the hell he wants to play on in map 2. He picked Equilibrium. And I assume that he's got a plan to deal with mega bases if he didn't want to take it himself. Yes, some people indeed would call it a super duper, super mega, ultra, very rich, mega big base with a lot of, really a lot of resources. But only the magical individuals out there that truly have a way with words would describe the base like that. Native speakers from Nottingham. No one else can describe a base that fine. Lambo already morphing a couple of links into banelings on the right side of the map. Reynor now trying to take the mega base in response. I'm a bit concerned here, guys. Reynor has 8 more workers and he's going for another base. Well, Lambo is just gonna full send it. He's gonna be as aggressive as you can imagine. With a lot of links and a lot of banelings early on. Reynor, can we pull off a magical hold? We kind of need it. We have a queen on the ramp. Links around is there. Baneling's gonna finish up in time. No, one baneling gets cancelled. Queen is going to fall. Second baneling gets cancelled as well. I do not like where this is going at the moment for Reynor. Oh. Can Reynor find a way out of this very dire scenario? Obviously, he did have 8 more drones, so he can lose a couple. But he has lost the queen. He loses the second queen. And it does not seem that this DVZ is going to come to a good ending, as Lambo came in with a plan and he said, if you want Equilibrium, I'll give you an Equilibrium special. All those drones are 1 hit away from dying. And Lambo's doing a really good job in trying to get that final hit off. Reynor still has 19 drones. It's 3 bases against 2. Biggest problem for Reynor is he lost the queens, guys. That is the biggest problem. He still has a drone lead, but not having any queens seems problematic. Then again, we have 1 more hatchery, so we have more larvae to work with. And we are missing stuff. The observer is not showing us what we need to see. Lambo does have an 8 army supply lead. Obviously, some of that is in queens. This game looked very dire for Reynor. But the longer it goes on, the more I can expect. Apparently, we're losing more drones. And the observer is just not showing us. I don't know where we lost those drones. I don't know if it was at the gold or in the natural. But Lambo making more links, more drones. Reynor trying to drone up. Reynor needs to respect the fact that this map is wild. He is also killing drones right now on the other side of the map. We need to micro our links to the best of our ability. Lambo has 12 army supply leads. Some of that is in queens. The stream is lagging a tiny bit. I apologize about this, guys. Awful moment for the stream to lag. There's nothing I can do about it. It's not my stream. It is their stream. The main base is wide open. I still think that Reynor is kind of dead, guys. It looked promising maybe for a split second. The drones are so clumped up. Those are the baneling connections that the man from the Rebellion is looking for. And it is F's in the chat for everyone who loves Basilisk. And it's time to celebrate for everyone who loves the Rebellion. Because Lambo is on the verge of creating, I would say, a pretty big upset here. And putting his team in an amazing position. Reynor does still have these 3 bases, but he's now down 5 workers. We at least have a queen. Are we allowed to dream because we have a queen? Can we dream with 11 against 16 drones? Maybe. If it wasn't Reynor, I would say we can't dream. It'd be very nice if the observer could show us actually where all the units are. Is there an opening for Reynor here somewhere, guys, to get a little bit of damage done on the other side of the map? He's gonna run links into the main base, finds a drone that's being transferred. Has links now on top of a queen, gets the queen, maybe can get a drone. This is where Reynor's gonna try to flex the multitasking muscle. Okay. Reynor's losing more drones, guys. Links in the main base, and he's also killing a couple of drones. I just think that Lambo has a few more units. Honestly, it's kind of ghetto gaming over here. It's 14 drones against 10 drones. 13 army supply against 8. It is ridiculous. 6.5 minutes in, we are back into Wings of Liberty, where nobody knew that building workers was a very useful thing to do. These two are throwing everything they have at each other. It's just that Lambo has a little bit more, but when the numbers are this small, a little bit more feels like a lot more. A few more banelings come in from the left, from the right. Reynor is on 12 drones, so even losing 2 drones is a disaster. And he loses those 2 drones. More links, more bangs is showing up. Feels that Reynor is officially running out of steam. I know we said that before. He tried to make something of it. Had very little left. If that baneling can finish up and get all the links, maybe we can still dream. Still trying to counterattack as well with the few Zerglings he has. The lowest supply game of professional StarCraft in a while after 7 minutes and 20 seconds. But it is Lambo who gets the fist pump going for himself. And I can't blame him for that. He should be over the moon. That's a big win for the man from the Rebellion. And that means that at the bare minimum, this will go to an ace match. And at that point, this is all we can hope for. Lambo 2, Reynor 0. GG. Last best of 2, RotterdaM versus Serral. Come on, Yona. We need you to do what you always do. 9% of the people believed in a 2-0 for Lambo. There Julian shows up in a big way. Complete prediction.